Good morning, beautiful people. Ooh, I got a frog in my voice. Yes, I overslept again. Well, I guess it's not oversleeping. I had a conversation with my counselor on Thursday, and I told her, I was like, I feel so guilty. I was getting up solidly at 3:34 every morning, getting all my stuff done, and including exercise and meditation. Like, I was kicking ass in the morning. And then this last week, I can blame it on my buddy for going to dog sit, so we haven't been biking. I could blame it on him. But really, it started happening the week before. And I was kind of beating myself up about it. And she said, Bobby, it's summer. And I'm like, yeah, it's summer. The days are longer. Like, gotta go. The show's gotta get the show on the road. And I wasn't grasping what she meant. And she kindly reminded me, summer is, we're programmed, from early on that summer is when we're off. Back then it was school, but our body knew that summer was playtime and rest time, and we could sleep in and we didn't have to set the alarm. And I never made this correlation. So I am gonna give myself a break on that, but also gonna try to get my butt back in routine tomorrow. And I figure if I get up super early a couple days, it'll make me tired to fall asleep at night, because that's another piece of the problem is I haven't been sleeping good. Those fireworks are aggravating. I cannot figure out why they're blasting fireworks. And it's not just in one place. Like, I can literally see them in both directions, which I discovered Friday night. Like, why are they doing this? I have no idea. Anyway, I know we got 4th of July coming too, so it'll inherently get worse. Oh, I wish I didn't remember that right now. Okay, how about we do the reading instead? All right, today is June 28th, and it starts off with a note from Kabar. I am wearing the linen of night and day. As time passes and we go through each day, we weave the tapestry of our lives. There are snags in some places and lumps in other, but the overall beauty is only enhanced by these elements. The craftsmen of India, with their fine skills, each make one intentional flaw in their work to help them remember they are human and only God can make something perfect. So it is with our recovery. We create the beauty of our lives just by living. We may like some areas of the weaving more than others, but it is all beautiful in relationship to the whole. When our critical eyes are too sharp, we get into trouble. When we put on our glasses of acceptance and willingness, we can see the finery which we and our higher power have been weaving together. Today, help me see life and living as an art. Help me trust the fact that each experience is as it should be. Help me let each day and each night become a part of my weaving and allow God's hands to guide the process. When I pre-read this, so I wouldn't stumble as much, that's kind of the idea, I resonated with the part, when our critical eyes are too sharp, we get into trouble. And that jumped out at me this morning because as I was journaling, part of the homework from the alcohol-free class that I'm still doing is every morning we have to, whoa, here goes the yawn. Sorry about that, guys. We had to write what we were grateful for, 3 things we were grateful for, and then 3 things we love about ourselves. And I'm sure if you've ever tried that, it's not easy. It's definitely not easy at the beginning of the journey. And if I didn't have, a weekly practice on this at group, I probably wouldn't be as, okay with doing it as I am today. It definitely took practice to get here. But now that I'm here, I'm pretty good. I can say it out loud a lot of times. I can write it down. I mean, what I'm grateful for is easy, but the what do I love about myself isn't always easy. So it happened this morning was I was writing down, I can't even remember what I was writing down, but I was writing it down and I had a but thought or a that isn't true 100% of the time, or like one of those thoughts. And I've been practicing really hard on this mindfulness stuff, especially as I learn more about it. And again, I'm so learning and have such a baseline. It's not anything I could even I don't even know if, what is it, amateur? Is amateur lower than novice? I don't even think I can claim that. It's more of I'm aware that so I've been practicing. And this is where the gratitude comes in. It wasn't perfect that I had the thought, like a negative thought, or that I had a little inner struggle about whatever positive I wrote down. But what was beautiful about it was that I caught myself doing it, got rid of the negative thought, at least in the moment, and then continued to try to find things that I love about myself. And it's a much better space to be in. It frames, I want to get a lot of things done today. So it definitely would encourage me like, oh, okay, you want to get stuff done today? Well, you can do that because you are determined, you're patient, you're, efficient at typing, whatever those qualities are that are going to help me get things done today. The biggest one that's scaring me is that it's only a 4-day work week at the day job. So I have no room for like error, I guess. It's really going to be hot and heavy trying to do 5 days worth of work in 4 days. So it's not going to be as easy to be, say, late or sneak out early to do some of my side work. After I tell you about trying to remind myself of my good qualities, I think the other thing that really grabbed me from this reading was the humility of it all. When they use the example about weaving these blankets and making a mistake on purpose to remind themselves that they're not perfect. That's a little mind-blowing to me. I think I'm gifted with the ability to make enough mistakes without trying to recognize I'm not perfect. But I can see the premise. It's about having their higher power and knowing that they're there. I think it's almost a way to engage and go, okay, I have my higher power. I have my safe place where I could turn things over, where I can, give things. I also don't have to be responsible for everything in a beautiful kind of way. I'm saying don't have to be responsible as the opposite of control, not don't have to be responsible as in, lazy and unmotivated. When we put our glasses of acceptance and willingness, we can see the finery which we and our higher power have been weaving together. Acceptance and willingness. I would say that that's probably gratitude as well. If we look through the lens of acceptance, willingness, and gratitude, if we look back, if our life is compared to this messy weaving and we go into it looking for the faults or the imperfections, and that's what we're focused on, that's what we're going to see. And that could translate into how we're feeling. But if we go into it going, okay, I accept that I have faults. I'm willing to believe that I have faults. I'm grateful that I have, faults. And I don't know if faults is too harsh of a word, but maybe that's why they use shortcomings in a lot of literature. But if we go into it knowing that they're there, they just become there. They don't become the center of our attention, and we can kind of move forward and progress in life and still find time to have self-devotion and self-love, and it could balance out and it could serve a purpose. If I thought that everything I did was perfect and amazing, I would be a cocky, pompous piece of shit that nobody would want to be involved with, because my ego would be leading that. Like, that's not who I want to be. So I don't know that anybody would, and maybe there are people, but to go from that extreme in recovery, from the self-hatred and the disappointment in ourselves and the frustration from our mistakes and the guilt and shame, I don't know that most people go from all of that to I'm perfect, I'm amazing, I'm fabulous. I will say that I can see it being easy to get caught up in the greatness on some level. I think there's a fine line between the two. I want to keep you away from all that negative self-talk. Well, you have to want to keep yourself away from that negative self-talk too. And like I said in the beginning, it's a practice. It's such a practice. And I'm going to tie in that piece about the people we choose to have in our lives too with this, because if you have someone in your life that maybe doesn't see you the way that you want to be seen, or they influence you in a way that causes self-doubt, or it causes you to, question your ability or your worth or your, I don't know. You want to make sure that you're not with people that fill your negative bucket, is what I'm trying to say. And they may not even know they're doing it. It's important that you know they're doing it, so that you can steer clear of that. Because if you're doing the inner work and you're trying to accept yourself for your faults and your flaws and whatever, you don't need someone criticizing those. You don't need someone judging those. Like, those are the people you need to not surround yourself with. So that's my rant about that. I am still very undecided about what's going to happen tonight, but we will have fun no matter what. My plans for the day, in case you're wondering, not like I tell you guys anything personal, right? I am going to do some work this morning, and then I am going to see one of my BFFs. I'm meeting her for ice cream, and I haven't seen her in a few weeks, so it's always great to see her. And I know that she's had some changes at work, and I had to hear it through the grapevine, so I'm looking forward to getting caught up with her. And yeah, just kind of wind down the weekend. But that's part of my self-love, my self-care, my self-devotion time, is to go spend some time with her. And I definitely, count the ice cream as my self-care time today. I was so good. I did not buy any. Like, I have not had ice cream in the house in, I think, a week and a half. That's pretty good. Yeah. We'll work on all these addictions at the same time or in spurts. And I think the gradual is much better. I'll wean myself off of ice cream one of these days. But for now, it serves the purpose. See, I'm willing. I'm not perfect. All right, beautiful people. Have an amazing day. And I will talk to you tonight.